I'm calling to order the meeting of the Littleton Historical Commission, January 14th, 7 p.m. Let's see, Shanta. How do I find if she wants to join participants?
Yeah, it should pop up to hit participants,
Hit participants,
and then you'll be able to see her. It's on.
panelists, one, is that her?
No,
That's just you.
Oh,
But if she's
Hi,
been trying
Rachel.
to dial in, she wouldn't get in until you. open the meeting.
so now I just did, so maybe she'll dial in.
Do they have like the waiting room turned on or?
Yeah, it should automatically, it should
But
like.
she should join.
That second tab,
Yeah, she should.
attendees.
So what?
She should join. It should show up in the attendees if there's a waiting room.
So I'm looking at participants. Is that the waiting room?
Yeah, but see how like,
Oh, you have it up there. Yeah,
on the left, it's dark blue, and then there's I think it says attendees on the tab next to it. I think that's where she'll show up.
I'm sorry, where?
To the right.
Under participants,
Yeah.
It's grayed out at this
Yeah, I
point,
can't-
so
Oh, what?
it's grayed out at this point, so it means she's probably not waiting.
right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, so I'll just keep an eye on. her.
We'll let you know.
All right.
I'll keep.
Let
a
me know.
lookout, and if
Let me
she
know.
shows up, I'll be like, there she is.
Okay. I think I'll give Shanti a minute to join because I think she is joining, so if you could just bear with us for a minute. So I sent out an invoice from Fannin and Lear for last year's work at the cemeteries. Have people had a chance to take a look at it? Yes. Any thoughts or questions about it?
No.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the invoice?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. I
I'm
don't,
gonna hire them again.
I believe they're gonna put in another application. And then we'll have to decide which, I guess one thing we should talk about is, do we want them to continue at West Lawn if we want them to continue, or do we want them to go back to the old burying ground? But we don't have to decide that tonight. It's just something to think about.
I think we need to pull their assessment, because a couple of years ago, they kind of gave them an assessment with kind of the roadmap, and I think if we can pull that out. Because I think there was still work to be done at the old cemetery, but then we switched them to Westlawn because we were given all the attention there, and then maybe time to come back.
That's my question. So
We have a cemetery commissioner here. Carolyn, do you have any?
I think Andrew Samarco has gotten a proposal from them, and he got last year's report, just like I saw him last week. So should have thought to bring it to you guys this week.
should we touch base with Andrew?
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
but I think they do want to come back for next year.
okay, great. Not happening yet. All right, give her one more minute and then we'll just start with your project. I don't have too many updates, but one update is, I met with a couple in town, and they almost definitely want to, put a historic preservation restriction on their house. And they will probably want us to be the holder of the restriction. So I'll let you know more when I know more about it, but that's probably gonna happen. I don't think they're selling their house immediately, but in the next few years, they'll probably sell it.
But, as we found with other houses, usually there's requirement for some funding to go along with the restriction, so that the holders of the restriction can assess it and keep track of it and so on.
You mean someone would give us funding?
Yes. Reed is the other person in town who's
Well, he
doing
did
that.
it not through us.
He did it
And he
through,
paid a lot of money, I think.
so he paid them a lot of money to do it, so
You're saying,
if we hold a restriction, we should maybe not have as much, we won't need as much as the historic New England feels they need, but you probably would ask for
something.
something.
So for Robinson Road, I think there was a little bit of funding for us.
Yes.
Yeah, wasn't a lot, but there was.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether she's having trouble joining or, but anyway, I think we will go ahead with 359 King Street. So we had a site visit. I wasn't there at that one, but I was there earlier, a few months ago with Ryan and Dwight, yeah, and Shanti. So any thoughts about the site visit, the recent site visit for the people who were there?
Well, why don't we start with Dwight giving us a little bit, Dwight or Ryan giving us a little bit of what their proposal is and what they intend to do. And then I think we can respond. Our site visit, of course, was in response to that.
Okay, well, I'll give you a little history of me. My name is Dwight Long. I moved to town in 1986. Bought my house from Bob Wilson, who was very nice and helped me buy it, financed it for me. If anybody lived here long enough, they'd seen many dumpsters and renditions. And my whole premise was to not just renovate it, but restore it. So I saved all the spindles. I had spindles made to match the spindles and the columns. And I think I've done a pretty good job. My wife has a mess. Richie Crowley was moving. He was going to sell the property to a developer. I saw what happened down the street at Gruskowski's. That was the last thing I wanted to happen next door to me. So I bought it with the intention of eventually my wife needed a one-level house, and we're really close to that point. So what my intention is to restore, renovate the front house and the barn into 2 condos. And then put 2 houses out back, possibly 3, on the outer perimeter of the elevation before it goes down to the pasture. Leave the open pasture, 5 acres out back, all open, and have 1-level housing. I understand the fabric of King Street. I always thought it was the gateway. I hope when my neighbor sells next door, Dave Niergaard, when he passes away, says he wants to leave it to the Historical Society. I hope that house gets fixed up really nice. And I want the 359 King Street to be great, look like my house, look like it's been there forever. But I can't have huge restrictions on, I need to put this window here, use the same clapboard. I'm not committed to doing that, and I would rather wait the 10 months and not have to deal with it. But based on what I did next door, I hope you'll understand and know that my intention is to maintain the facade. I have to change a roof line here and there, and I got to change some windows to conform with code, but I want it to be what it's always been. But I've been with other boards and I'm just getting pushed along. And I don't want to do that with the Historical Society
Commission.
his commission. So you work with me. I'm totally into the whole fabric and maintaining the character of the town and not doing what happened at Gruskowski's. But if we're gonna have this constant battle that I'm having with other boards, I'm gonna wait for 10 months. We started in October, I'll just wait, and then I'll just do what I need to do.
So I'll feed off of that. and give you guys so. Sorry, this isn't the greatest presentation. I'm gonna pass this around. The first one here is just a picture of what the front looks like currently. None of this, we haven't actually gotten a design from the architect yet, because we're trying to figure out what we can and can't do. I know this kind of looks like a 2-year-old did it. I did the best I could. What I'm trying to show you is what we would need is about 2.5 feet to raise the roof on the barn, about 2.5 feet. I'd like to have an 8-foot ceiling on the first floor. Second floor, we're gonna need egress windows. And in order to accomplish that, we're gonna need that extra height. So I did this to kind of represent what I think it might look like. And then between the house and the barn, it's a really low ceiling in that bedroom there as well. So I'd like to actually raise that roof between the house and the barn, so. As you pass along, you might want to keep that so you can kind of compare side by side. I did show on these, I didn't put as much effort into this. Because I don't think that this is really the look that we would like to see. But I did just throw 3 shed dormers on the side of the barn. To accomplish my window size that I would need for egress for the bedrooms. And I don't know whether it'd be 3 or 4, but that was just kind of, like I said, I didn't put as much effort into that as I did to that, because that's preferable. And then I also have just some photos of the barn as is current state right now, just so you have that as a comparison. And I did make a couple other notes on there as to what the current heights are. Floor to bottom of beam on the first floor is 7'2". As I mentioned, we'd like to have an 8-foot ceiling on the first floor, which would then raise would raise by 10 inches, plus the additional framing, structural framing that we'll need. We'll raise it probably another 6 inches or so. Currently on the second floor, there's 6'7" from the floor to the bottom of the roof line, that knee wall. So obviously raising the first floor is going to shrink that down to closer to 4'8", 4'11", something like that. We really need that to be up to 7'6" so that we can get our windows to fit in for egress for the bedrooms. But we are looking to try to keep a similar look. We're not trying to modernize it too much. Just need the room to, as I said, add those egress windows and have an 8-foot ceiling on the first floor.
So you planning to keep those quite unusual windows on the first floor of the barn?
We're working on design. If we do keep them, we would like to raise them so that right now they're almost sitting on the floor. So
Right.
we could accomplish it with tempered glass, but I would be concerned with having a child fall through that, even if it is tempered glass. So I would like to see them 18 inches off the floor.
So this one shows you raising
That one shows everything raising up, and I just made a note that the windows would raise and give me a minimum of 18 inches from the floor. So there are a couple of notes on there you might want to take notice of.
It is highly unusual and it's nice of you. I mean, we certainly appreciate anything that, keeps this quite unusual feature.
I thought it might help to have a little bit of visual. I mean, and again, it's not exactly to scale. I did the best I could.
Yeah.
We're working with an architect now on some preliminary drawings, and we can get you some architectural drawings. I think the windows in the barn, I've driven by just like you thousands of times, and I think it's great character. So preserving raising those up a little bit, because you're gonna raise the ceiling, just lifting them all up, having that beautiful bay of windows is, to me, is important to preserving. I think that little front door with, is both, there's two doors on the front side. Both of those are worth preserving. I think they're great. And the barn door, I'm all for preserving as much as possible, but it needs to be able to bring, I can't invest hundreds of thousands more than I need to and not get any ROI on. I need to make some money on it so that I can afford to do things out back.
Well, I think we understand that. I mean, while we want to preserve as much as we can, we also understand the practicalities of, making this into something other than an unusual looking barn.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have it as a residence, I think, I mean, I can speak for the commission that we tend to understand that, things have to be changed. As Ryan will tell you, we certainly accepted that in the Robinson Roadhouse where we had in a sense, we had much more possibilities of restricting things, but we understood that, there has to be compromises in these, in renovations if you're gonna use it for for modern use, and that certainly is understandable. I personally at least understand that that's something that's necessary and I have no objections and appreciate you are doing as much as you can to preserve it. So, for me, that's a very positive,
And the two homes out back. So when you, as you know, when you drive by, you can kind of see in the pasture, particularly in the winter. So the houses out back will not be, just these big box houses. It'll be very complimentary of the house out front. So the whole drive-by will have really nice street appeal. And that's important to me.
again, that's something we appreciate that and.
And I think Dwight came to us specifically because of, well, I think he's friends with Joe, but also the job that was done at 12 Robinson Road. Which I think was a very successful project.
Yes.
So,
So, I might have missed something because I was trying to see if Shanti's gonna join us, but what would you might have already said this, what would you be replacing all the clapboards?
yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna take it down. We're gonna put a new foundation in. We will give it a similar look, but we're probably not gonna try to reuse the materials as we did at 12 Robinson Road. I think we've discussed using a wood siding or wood clapboard, trying to keep things very similar to what's there. But we would like to go down and start over. The foundation is not structurally sound. The structure, the interior structure is not structurally sound. He has a lot of additional supports that he's had to add to the basement because it's sagging and sinking in areas. There's quite a bit of bug damage. So I think we'd like to just eliminate that, start fresh, but give it a very similar appearance to what's there.
Is there any way, I mean, the one thing that struck me on the inside, and I don't even know what it's doing now. It looked like it was doing something before and now it's not doing the same thing as it was doing. But there are these two sort of posts on the interior, which used to hold up something, and I'm not sure they still are, but if in the barn, yeah, if there's some way that they could be,
First floor level or second floor?
I
Are you
think
saying
they,
on the second floor, they had those really long beams?
yeah,
They're just kind of suspended and post. I mean, a lot of that, I think we would like to try to find the use for some of that material. I mean, I don't want to dispose of all material. I would love to try to find the use for some of that mortise and tenon. We want to keep some of that alive. It may not be used in the same way. But I would love to see it stay. And I mean, no means to speak for you, Dwight, but I think,
To me, that barn has also obviously post and beam, and I would like it to have more of like a restoration feel, restoration hardware feel, if you know what that is. I mean, with the windows and whoever is gonna buy it and live there is gonna want something historical, nostalgia or old. They're not gonna buy that where they can buy down the street, right? They want something that has some character. So I love that stuff, and if we can incorporate some beams in there and things. I personally added multiple posts downstairs in the bottom of the barn and on the first level. I added just because there was so much sag and bounce. Don't tell the building inspector I did that.
So your petition is a demolition request for the barn.
Yep, a
Does not
demolition.
include the house.
Well, we have to take down the barn. It's not structurally sound. So take down the barn, save what we can, incorporate what we can in the new design. We need to take the house down to the studs on the inside and the outside. But putting back the facade like 90% of the way that it is now. It's just that roof line in between the house and the barn.
Mhm.
Just because that one, there's only 2 bedrooms in the house right now, and that one bedroom, the ceilings are just. Ceiling in the kitchen, whoever was there was really low.
Yeah.
And then the ceiling in that bedroom is really low.
So just to clarify, so you plan to proceed with a permit for renovation of the house, but you're asking for a demolition permit on the barn?
Yes,
Yes, okay. That's important, significant.
correct.
So I thought I heard, I might have misunderstood. You said you'd also bring the house down to the studs?
Well, this, maybe I used the wrong terminology.
The structure will stay the same. It'll be, we're gonna gut the interior of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exterior would be removing the clappers so that as we put it all back together, the barn and everything ties together. And then obviously any sheathing that's damaged, we dispose of and replace. But I would think sheathing, for the most part, we try to keep all that exterior sheathing intact if it's possible.
For the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I only bring it up because by statute, right, he's gonna be working on the house under a permit. So the jurisdiction is the building inspector that we can provide advisory services. But our jurisdiction is invoked on the barn because you filed for a demolition permit. Just so you're aware.
Any thoughts from people who were on the site visit?
I was gonna say, I think Shanti has joined your meeting. I don't know if she can hear us.
Shanti?
I can hear you, yes, yeah.
So any commissioners have comments on the site visit who were there?
Yeah, I mean, I think there wasn't anything particularly in I mean, there was some great interior features of some posts, and it'd be great to, it was always nice to see that on Robinson Road of having those all
Yeah,
on
we
signs.
love that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm heartened to hear that you want to do something similar. I think from my perspective, grateful that you do take the care for the house you live in now, and that you are making a concerted effort to try to keep the exterior looking a certain way. I do feel like we obviously want everything to stay as close to original as possible, but also it's, in my opinion, not necessarily always a zero-sum game. So like, it's as close as we can get. Sometimes that's a win for us. So I'm, it's always sad to see things go, but it's as long as it's gonna look relatively the
It's
same.
not gonna go.
No, I know.
It'll be
bad.
It'll be
Maybe we'll get-
95%
Yeah,
historically correct.
yeah,
I mean, the windows were done over, like, none of them even match. I mean, so all the windows.
yeah. No, I know.
So there's gotta be something done
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Some of the windows don't even open and close,
No, it's all
so.
part of conservation, so, but there wasn't anything like in the barn or on the property that I was like, oh my god, this is like,
Yeah,
so, I'm good if you, Chris, or.
Yeah, I feel similarly. I think that while it is, you know, a neat structure, it's not feasible to necessarily keep it and utilize it for what you're looking to do with it, and I understand that. So I feel, you know, that's probably something that, your plan is something that would be acceptable.
Yeah, I guess feel the same way. I appreciate very much the chance to look at that highly unusual building and, this is always interesting. And, as I said before, I mean, I recognize that, preserving as much as you can is what we hope for. And we also understand that with a building like that, in order to make it usable for anything today, you're gonna have to radically change it, and that's, you've given us to understand that you're gonna try and do that as sympathetically as possible, and to me, that's a great solution. Trying to, sort of argue for preservation, the whole thing, I think is pie in the sky, and I wouldn't argue for that at all. So I appreciate that, and knowing what both Ryan and you have done with previous properties, I hope that that's an indication of what you'd be doing with this, and if that's the case, I feel very confident that we'll come up with something good.
Again, I personally want to keep a good relationship with all of you. I would like to continue to be able to do this in town. I would be happy to have you come back and take a walk through what we've produced once we've done it. And hope that you're.
I'd personally like to see it. I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be fascinating to see how you could go from one to the other. I think that would be great.
well, sadly, I have to sell my house that anybody who's lived here for 40 years, when you weren't that old, but I started when I was like 20, 25, and I don't want to move, but I'm gonna live out back, and I could not live with myself. I could not drive in to the driveway every day and not do it right. So I hope everybody will be happy with the way it's comes out.
You were at the.
No, I wasn't able to make it to the site visit, but based on everyone who's there, I trust their opinion. And I come from a long background of working out of renovated historic houses, so I would be a little bit of a hypocrite if I said that couldn't be done very tastefully and with a level of historical accuracy. So if that's what you're committed to, which it certainly sounds that way, I would second, third the motions that have already been stated.
Yeah, no, I unfortunately, I was working, I missed the site visit, but I concur.
Donna?
I wish you could stay just as it is.
Well,
I guess that's all I have to say. I know I can't, but
yeah, well, Jonathan's house isn't the exact same as it always was.
Excuse me?
I mean, your house isn't you're updated your kitchen, you've done, we've all done things. My house is from the 1800s. Driving by, I hope it has great curb appeal and people like it, but I've tweaked it a little bit, here and there, minor, and that's what I want to do next door, so.
Shanti, you with us?
Yeah. Yeah.
At what point you tuned in, some of the commissioners and Ryan and Dwight already gave a little presentation at the beginning. Do you want to share your thoughts on the barn?
Sure. seems to me the commission has already.
Before we go
gone-
on, you know, you of course know her.
Can
very
you hear
well,
me?
But do the rest of, no, I'm just
Hang on a
saying,
second, Shanti.
Dwight, you know
I
who Shanti
did
is?
meet Shante and Linda when they
Oh,
came
okay,
over
yeah.
in October.
Okay, otherwise I was gonna.
Yeah, no,
Sorry, Shanti, go ahead.
I'm not sure, so sorry, apologies for being a little bit late. In historic preservation, I understood tonight's question to be about determining significance of this barn structure. And in historic preservation, the measure of significance goes through two lenses. One is criteria of significance, and there are 4 criteria for determining whether something's significant. And then whether something possesses integrity, and there are seven elements to integrity. And certainly my assessment is that the property in question, including its barn, certainly meets criteria B and C in terms of significance, and possesses almost all of the elements of integrity: location, design, setting, materials, workmanship, feeling, and association. So my recommendation would be that this is a structure that is architecturally intact, dating to the later 19th century. It has associations with Henry Dix Kimball, the Littleton Giant. It's already listed in Macris as a property of interest to the Commonwealth. So, as I understand it, under Chapter 65, which is your building demolition code, the process that you would be going through as the historical commission for the town is determining whether this building is significant, and if it is, that triggers further elements in the process prior to demolition. It allows you some time to work with the owner to come up with a plan that's acceptable to the community, because it's, your charge under the town bylaw regarding demolition to consider the loss of this historic building through the lens of significance.
Thank you, Shanti.
Sure.
Any thoughts on what Shanti just said?
Well, no, I mean, she's absolutely right that, the determination tonight is historic significance or not, right? And then if you vote for historic significance, then it begins a period of no longer than 60 days to submit a formal proposal for what the building would be replaced with and look like. And then it requires us to hold a public hearing where we notify abutters for them to weigh in as well. So that's what Chapter 65 says. All we can vote on tonight is if it's historic or not.
That's right. So do you understand there's a process?
So when you visited in October 17th, you notified the commission that the society, this commission, that this is our intent. So I just want to make sure that I understand that October 17th was.
No,
Or do we have a new date tonight?
no, it's not a
When did
new
you do
date
the
tonight,
permit?
no.
Right.
Wait.
When did you file the permit?
We're working on that now, or,
I thought you already filed it, no?
Yeah, the permit, I believe
well, I think Joe just did the demo permit.
I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, okay, so is it when we start? This is the
Then
permit.
permit.
So
Okay, so
when did you don't know when?
I do, I think it was, I just signed some DocuSign thing, I wasn't sure when the clock started ticking. But, so say it starts January 10th, or whatever, it was a couple days ago.
Okay, so,
So we can use that as the official date.
Yes.
all right, all right.
Yeah. So.
I had thought that you filed the building permit a while ago.
Well,
A
we had
demo,
talked
a
to the
demo
building
permit.
inspector.
Interior demo for
Oh,
the house,
oh,
which is,
okay, I thought that was for the barn.
That would be out of-
So you just filed the demo permit for the barn recently? Is that what you're saying?
No. I don't know if it was just for, it was internal demo of the house so we could see what we had to work with. And I think it may have included the barn, but I'd have to.
All right, I can talk to the building commissioner. What triggers this whole process for us
Okay,
is the building commissioner, when he receives a demo, an application for your demo
Yeah.
permit. He is supposed to notify us
Okay.
within 5 days.
I've been-
And
so we haven't done that yet. Oh,
Well, I talked to him a while ago, but it sounds like that was maybe the
that
house.
may have included the barn and then the interior demo. And then we were told that the barn might have significance. So he would move forward with the interior demo, but I will try to clarify.
Yeah, check with Henry and I'll check with him too. The reason that we're having this vote tonight on historical significance is because we had 20 days from the time that we were notified by the building commissioner to make a determination of historical significance. So that's today's 20 days after what I thought was the barn, but I'm not sure now. So that's why we're having this tonight. So tonight we vote on historical significance, assuming the demo permit was back when I thought it was 20 days ago.
That's when we started discussing that. That's
Yeah.
when you came out to do your walkthrough.
And then, as Andrew was saying, whatever is decision, if this commission votes that the barn is historically significant tonight, then there's a process going forward, 60 days.
Within 60.
Within
days.
60 days, we have to hold a public hearing to decide whether we want to issue a demolition delay of 12 months, not 10 months, 12 months, or not, or some time period in between. We could issue no delay. That's the prerogative of so I'm just letting you know the process.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna delay me 12 months, then don't waste your time. Don't even have the hearing. I will wait 12 months. I don't want to be dragged along anymore. I do not. Just putting that down right now.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
fine.
do everything I can to do it right. And I'll fulfill my obligation every step of the way. But I don't wanna wait 60 days and then not have anything and then pour all this money into design and then do this and then have 4 months down the road, no, change this. I'm not doing that anymore. I wanna save it. I wanna make it look great, but I will certainly wait 12 more months. I've waited all this time. I'll wait 12 more months.
Right. I'm just explaining to you what the process is
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
are by
I'm
law,
just
by law, we're
straight, right.
required to follow
Yeah.
this process,
Okay.
by law.
So here's the thing, let me just be clear, so. You submitted, let's just assume you just submitted your demolition.
Or
Yeah.
20 days ago, maybe, we don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
so
so
good.
recently you submitted. And then you say, I'm just gonna wait 12 months, right? Doesn't work that way, in the sense that. If you don't go through the process doesn't
Okay,
stop.
so I can go through the process, but not do anything on my end from a design standpoint. This is gonna slow me down.
That's
But
right,
that's fine. If I have to go through whatever procedures you have, I will certainly go through that.
right.
And
Yeah.
again, also, even if we did determine it to be historically significant, we can still approve the demolition of it, like that's. That doesn't necessarily mean that we will not, or we, won't, like it can still happen.
I wanna work with you guys and I want you to work with me. And
I
I
think that's
wanna, I
what-
wanna deliver a beautiful project, a beautiful, curb appeal. Unlike Ruskowski's, which is like, drives me crazy every time I drive by it. I hate it. But I want it to be something that you can be proud of and that, more importantly, I can be proud of.
So do you hear anything different from us?
I've been getting the runaround from a lot of different people, not these people and not the Historical
Okay.
Society, and that's where my frustration comes from.
Sure.
And I do stuff and then it's like, oh, you didn't do that right. Well, what do I gotta do? Well, I can tell you what to do, but whatever you did was wrong.
Okay,
So,
all right,
I'll give,
so
I'm
hold on.
sorry for like.
Yeah,
coming
please
off
don't
as-
group us into your common frustration on others. I got it. I hear you loud and clear. But we are required to follow Massachusetts law the same way you're required to follow Massachusetts law. We're just telling you how it works, right?
Yeah,
And, you know, to Shanti's point, the process is prescribed because it's a structure that was built years ago. You can't ever go back, right, after you make a decision to go forward, right? If
Mhm.
we blanketly level every house that's more than 50 years old, there'll be no houses from that era ever again, right?
Mhm.
So, you know, we learned that from the 16 and 1700s, right? We didn't preserve, and now there are 21 of them left in Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole construct here. So it's anyway,
I'm with you.
just laying it out for you.
Yeah.
Just laying it out for you. So I think what is potentially, you know, regardless of where you are in the process, I think we all feel comfortable potentially starting the process, right? Even though technically it's supposed to be building delay, demolition permit, 5-day waiting period, within 20 days, a determinant of historical significance, right? You just happened to come to our meeting tonight, so we don't really know, but I think we could probably do the vote, right? If it's historically significant or not. And if it is historically significant, we have a public hearing, right? And then that public hearing is the opportunity for your neighbors and people in the community to say, hey, no, this is important, we gotta do it this way, or other people, or no one shows up, right? No one shows up and no one has anything to say. And then you have full discretion of us as sort of evaluators on if you get your building permit or not. If we decide that we don't think so, then it's a 12-month waiting period, which is a cure period in the Massachusetts law. And the cure period is for you to say, hey, you know what, maybe instead of tearing it down and building a giant metal building, I'm gonna make it look like it did before, and right, like you're sort of proposing, in which case it's way more palatable and way easier for us to.
So at that public hearing, if I had a rendition of what I thought, what we're proposing. So we're gonna get neighbors' opinions and who knows? So is it's just the abutters or is it everybody in town?
No, it is a very specific notification area that's handled by the building commissioner. I think it is direct to butters. I don't
think
think.
Yeah,
direct
direct
to
to voters. However, I mean, yeah, it's an
Anybody can
open
show up.
public meeting,
Right,
anyone can
right.
show up.
That's right.
Alright, so if I had and then we vote. And then. You guys can say, okay, you can't take it down. Because it has huge historical value. And then I can say. If you don't like what I'm proposing, which is probably pretty close to what we need to do, then it would be, then I just wait 12 months.
Now, the proposal that we would bring, that would be just the exterior facade.
Yeah,
That's
so,
all you
okay.
really need to see. You don't need to see the interior layout.
No.
That's
Let me tell you
We're
what.
not doing it all on interiors.
We're not
Exactly, that's what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Just
right,
making sure.
Robinson Road's different because it had a historical
Reservation.
But let me tell you what you need, okay? So if we vote, it's historically significant. If we vote, it's historically
Tonight.
significant. Within 60 days, you have to produce a packet. The packet needs to contain a map that shows the location of the building. Number two, photographs, which include street views and facade elevations, which I think you already have done, right? I mean, that's pretty much what you did there.
Well, I have more. I can provide more.
Okay. I gotta check if you need pictures of internal spaces. I just have to check on that, but, it's certainly not for like controlling what happens to internal spaces. It may just for, I think we added that to the law, right? Because of that, when they took the roof off and it caused water damage inside the house.
I
And
think
so we wanted it so that it was documented. So like if you decide to sell the roof before, right? So anyway,
Is it internal photos?
I think it requires internal,
That's fine.
but I can confirm.
That's fine.
Description of the building or structure that will be demolished. The reason for proposing demolition and any data that supports the reason. Or any economic justification for the need to demolish. And then a brief description of the proposed reuse of the parcel of land on which the building or structure that is to be demolished is currently located.
Can you just repeat the
This
last?
is all in chapter 65 of the town
Yeah, it's all
code,
in the town
so
code, but
you can go to the town
Okay,
website.
yeah, 5 is a description of the proposed reuse of the parcel on which the building or structure is located. So it's really not that bad, honestly.
Okay,
And then in terms of the 60 days, it's within 60 days, but can't be any sooner than 14 days from the determination. And the 14 days is the notification period of abutters, right? Because we have to send, it's all this like prepaid postage,
Yep.
and all this other stuff.
So you're saying, so, okay, that's within 60 days, but
Within 60
so if we
days,
wanted to present this in 30 days,
you could,
we could do that.
Yeah, like at our next meeting,
Okay.
Yeah. except we'd have to turn next meeting
into a public hearing, right? So we have to have some advance notice because we have to give 14-day notification.
and the meetings, when is the February meeting? Is it every month?
It's usually the second Wednesday of every month unless there's conflict, a major conflict with some of the members.
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, that's a conflict, isn't it? Is that a Wednesday?
I don't know.
No, it's February 11th.
Off the top of your heads, it's February 11th, good to me?
But we have to talk to our architect.
Yeah, sure.
Make sure.
Well, again, you don't need your architect.
Oh, I want to show you, well,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
you can do that.
goes, I want.
Again, you kind of did it.
Well, I want to show you what it's, what I see it being.
Got it. Got it. And so again, your demolition is of the barn, right? So our jurisdiction is of
Just
the
the barn.
barn.
And just to be clear, that was I was not sitting with Dwight as I put that together, so
Sure.
his vision might be a little different than mine, but I wanted to keep as
Yeah.
much.
I think it would be
As I
great
could.
if you can bring pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just another like open disclosure, but if you get into the house and you decide that you want to do a demolition permit on the house, the whole process starts again. If again, demolition permit, it's registered, so it would come here for a historic significance
Yeah, you
determination.
mean like for a full demolition? I
That's correct.
don't see us doing that.
Yeah, no, I'm just telling you, right? I don't want you to be surprised.
No,
Where
that's understood, yeah.
You go through the process and then you come back and you say, oh, by the way, I'm taking the house down too, right? Nope, doesn't work that way.
We understand that. yeah.
Redo, yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify that, the commission will vote tonight as to whether the barn is historically significant. That does not mean there's a demolition delay put on the barn at this point. It's just a vote on historical significance. The vote on demolition delay comes within the 60 days later on.
Understood.
Any other questions or thoughts before we vote?
I was gonna say, I just mentioned, so at the public hearing, if there is a vote to impose a 12-month demolition delay, the board can reconsider that at any point in the delay period. So, for example, if you were to, we actually did that with the house, also on King Street, where they got the imposed delay, and then they made some structural design changes with their architect to make it look like the house they were replacing, which was our ask. And so like 1 month later, we lifted the 12-month delay and they were able to proceed because, they were willing to kind of, just so you're aware, so that's how it works.
Any other thoughts before we vote? Okay. Um. We'll go around the room?
Well, I think it has to be a
We
motion.
need a motion.
Yeah, oh yeah, do I have a
I
motion?
make a motion that the barn of 359 King Street is of historical significance due to age and the criteria that Shanti suggested.
Second,
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. So the commission has voted that the barn is historically significant. That is the first step in the process of the demolition delay bylaw. Within 60 days, we will hold a public hearing. We could do it within 30 days if that works, whatever. On whether the commission will or will not impose a demolition delay.
And how long does it take you to send out your registered mail to the abutters and such?
So the law gives us 14 days.
14 days? All right, so.
So we could have
do
it soon.
in a month.
What's
Yeah,
that?
we could, I mean, next month is fine. It gives us,
Yeah, so you want to do February 11th?
I mean, it's-
and I would say the more information, the more, pictures are great, the more things you can present at the hearing as to what you're gonna do, the better it'll be.
yeah, so
The
that
better it'll
works.
be for us.
Would I be able to connect the computer here so I could put the
Yes.
pictures up so I don't have to do what I did
Yes.
tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
So the law does state you're supposed to bring 10 printed copies, but I don't.
I don't think we
I
were,
could do
we're
that as
adhering
well.
to that, are we? I don't think so.
If you can send it electronically,
Yeah.
we all print our own stuff.
Oh, all
I
right, yeah.
usually do. I forgot mine at work, but,
Or you can join the meeting electronically and just share your screen.
yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
Um,
Yeah, Shanti?
Just a comment that I did make at the site visit and I would make to the full commission now, which is that if an applicant is using the issue of structural integrity or lack thereof as the excuse for needing to demolish, that it is recommended that their material include a structural engineer's report, someone with experience in historic timber frame structures, supporting that contention that the building is not structurally sound.
yeah, so our law is a little different. Our chapter 65 is different. So you would, if you believe it's not structurally sound, the bypass path is through the building commissioner's office. They perform the structural integrity assessment.
Well, I think more so what we presented earlier was we would like to have an 8-foot ceiling height. We do need egress windows for the bedrooms upstairs. That's more what's driving that,
Sure.
but I personally believe there are some structural issues, but that is not why we
Yes.
would like to do that.
I think he fixed it with the beams in the base.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, when I was putting in the beams, I was letting down the jack and the beam sunk into the post like 4 inches. So it's like, there's. I don't know what I'm doing down
They
there.
probably didn't use a spanning table.
Well, it was all dry rot and I probably should have had, I'm no engineer. I was
Yeah.
just trying to keep it from bouncing.
So in February, when you guys come, if you can email us the proposal ahead of time, that's great. That way we can all print it off and bring it with us. You'll basically be able to present, right? It's technically a special meeting. I think we can use it in our regular meeting, but it's technically a special meeting. So you're asked to present. And then anyone who's here from the public is asked if they would like to give their opinions. And then we discuss and we go from there. That's the process.
Okay,
Okay, and so February 11th looks good to you,
yep,
sort
it
of?
works for me.
Okay,
I'll make it work.
Okay.
well, thank you.
And if I have questions, you don't mind if I email you?
Of course not.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank
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 you.
you, thank you.
I'm gonna leave those behind.
Look forward to working with you
Yeah.
on this project.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, guys. Bye, Chad.
Bye.
Thanks, Shanti.
All righty, have a good night. Thank you.
Well, we have
You
another project.
Yes, we have another project afoot.
too, right, but, I mean, if Shanti wants to stay, she can, she doesn't have to. And the
Oh, no, I
reason,
thought he's talking about this.
oh, this
We have
you're talking
another
about,
project?
oh, is this what you're talking about, 359?
No,
No, what are you talking about?
Tunnel?
the tunnel house.
Okay, but so the reason I say Shania can stay if she wants to, and she doesn't have to, is because a reminder that in December, this commission voted that the tunnel house is historically
That's
significant.
right.
So, you know, we've kind of already done that, so,
Oh, we're so good.
so really,
End of sketch.
yeah, so really what I was gonna discuss about the tunnel house tonight was, let's see here, my notes. So,
You know the address for the Tuttle House? Just
I'm sure.
550 King Street.
Is it,
right off the top.
No, it might have a different address.
Says right here,
Oh, it does?
550 King Street.
Yeah, but did I write that or someone else wrote that?
Well, that was what we discussed at our.
Well, it's on 550 King Street, but I thought it might be on another site. Anyway, yeah, you could, yeah. Or I could look at it in Macros.
I can look it up too.
It might
I just
be in
didn't know if
Macros.
any new.
But it's also been moved around.
Right.
Yes.
So I thought that we would discuss the site the site visit that you guys had on the Tuttle House and your thoughts about it. And then I just want to mention that the planning board had a meeting last Thursday about various aspects of the site, but the Tuttle House was not included in that discussion. I thought it might be, but it wasn't.
Why was it not?
They were discussing other issues, other concerns. It
They're
wasn't-
discussing the retail zone mostly.
Oh.
Changes, minor changes there and
So
basically.
you were there?
No, I watched.
You
it.
watched? Did they at all discuss, this was kind of a big issue, I don't know whether it was discussed that meeting. Form-based code, everyone knows what I'm talking about. The town has form-based code where the structures are supposed to keep a certain character, a certain look.
It's 534 King Street.
534,
Thank
see,
you. I was
I
gonna
knew
say
it had
it's
a
not
different
showing.
address. But the developer has apparently submitted new plans where the backs or the sides or not the fronts of the buildings are facing the street. And I think that is a point, that is an issue that's come up.
Yeah.
Did they discuss that at that
They
meeting?
did, and they had a peer review, I guess. I don't know if the town had a peer review. And they discussed that in particular and apparently Rapoli's working on changing that, but they can only do so much because of the retailers that they're in conversations with, have their set ways of doing things and so.
But I guess my question about that, and I couldn't attend the meeting, but we have form-based code. I believe the developer agreed to follow form-based code in his original plan, so.
Right.
But now they don't want to, so
Well,
what happens?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they were like, we don't want to turn our back on King Street. That's basically what they're saying, and the comment. So they're working towards making it look more like that's the front of the building.
Even though it's not?
Even though it's technically not. That's
Okay.
what I got out of it. The Tuttle House one, I downloaded the plan. And it looks to me like that's not part of the retail center, that's part of like a hotel that they're gonna build on site. So and I don't know how we're originally planning to incorporate that into the hotel. But I don't know if that plan has changed and that's why they want to move it or what.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, they want to move it off site, and our recommendation was that it should be kept on site.
Yeah.
That's what we recommended.
Yeah.
But they didn't discuss that at this meeting, right?
Yeah, they didn't
No,
touch on it.
okay. All right, so that's kind of all that I thought we discussed. Tuttle House, people who were at the site visit, any thoughts when you visited it?
I know that it had been renovated. I don't know. I guess I had a very different image in mind of what the renovation entailed, and like it was very dated carpet, and I don't know. I thought I had a different vision in my head.
What about the exterior?
I mean, I think the exterior looks fine. That has always seemed fine to me. I think knowing that the interior had been renovated, it had a dated look to it that I was not expecting. Not bad, but just different than what I thought. It's big. It would be very difficult to move, especially with the chimneys and all the fireplaces and all of that.
Well, it has been moved,
Oh, I know.
so obviously.
But Shanti thought that all the fireplaces and everything had been reconstructed as a result. And some, either they did a worse job, either weren't, or they did a worse job than others. But you know, that is a huge undertaking. It is a very large house.
And going back a month to what Andrew was saying, I think I and maybe others have thought about it more, and it really, the site is part of what makes it historic. The history of the site and the house on the site. Moving it, what is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I came away much more with that feeling. I mean, Shanti, and I wonder, I'd like Shanti to comment on, Shanti, you still here?
She is.
Yep,
Shanti?
here,
Yeah.
Okay, because, I mean, you commented, and it became obvious to me when I started looking that, in fact, there's not much of the building that's really left. You know, the windows are totally new. The interior has been totally reconfigured. It doesn't look at all like a 1750 house or something even earlier than that would have looked. So I kind of, you know, yeah, it's probably very solid, and one of these things that's very easy, would be relatively easy to move, but I'm not sure it's worth moving if you moved it off-site. I mean, I think the house and the site go, you know, together make an important complex, but if, you know, important statement about what the town was like, but if you moved it somewhere else, you'd wind up with sort of a kind of more or less modern house on a lot that never had a house, and I'm not sure that that's really worth it, but I mean, these are just sort of thoughts that I had after sort of looking at it, and I wonder what other people would say to that. So I was all keen on the idea of moving it, but after going around it and looking at it, I'm rather less keen on the idea of moving it.
He's great.
And you were there. What did you think?
I mean, there's some historical aspects to the house, like they saved some beams and put some beams in certain areas that, you know, you can see, but other than that, you know, walking into it, it doesn't scream.
What about the exterior?
The front exterior is a little bit more, you know, it's kind of a neat look, but that's really, to me, that's kind of it. I mean, you walk into the back where there's a barber shop now, and it's got some cool old beams, but it looks more modern to me. Yeah, moving it, I don't know where would it be moved, and there's just a lot of questions, and I don't even know as far as, you know, what they have on their plan for that, the grass area, when you're looking at the house to the right of it, there's a whole, it looks like a courtyard situation there, so that looks like that's all gonna be modified anyways. So at the end of the day, you're not preserving the house with the land. It looks like it's all gonna be sort of cut up.
Can you share that? Did you get that from a?
Yeah, so I'll circle it, and the house is just in blue and circle at the bottom.
So my thought, and I've thought this all along, I mean, the whole moving thing is seeming less and less like it's worth doing, but
I would also, I just want to say,
Yeah.
like, I'm still in favor of saving the house in any way we can. I do acknowledge that it's a difficult move, but I'm, like, if it can be done,
I agree with you,
It's like
but No, I really-
I still really want to save that.
I want to really save the house too, and the reason is the form of the front of the house. To me, you drive by the house and it looks historic, it's in good shape. It reflects character of that era, of the colonial era. I think that the form of the house, the front part, retains the historical character.
Agreed.
And that's why I would want to save it. Shanti?
And when you're saying the front part of the house, what you really mean is the main block, right? Not just the front elevation, but you mean the historic footprint of the front.
The original house. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
the original block, I guess you're calling
Right.
it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the back, I don't
Right.
think is historic, but the front part, I think is.
Well, certainly at the interior, there are structural members that are still intact that help this building maintain its massing and original dimensions, no question.
So maybe some of that should be preserved, you're saying, as well in the interior, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, the structural framing is probably the most historic of what's left. And so, that's a good argument for keeping it intact. Because, I mean, that is historic fabric.
Got it.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but in this map, he also has taken down the, what do you call it?
The mill.
The mill.
That's his plan, and we haven't had much input on that in the last year or more. So that's something we need to discuss, and we better discuss it soon, because I don't know if he's gotten approval or not from the planning board. I don't know. Do you know?
That's the latest plan from, I don't know, it says it's a revised plan on the town website.
Yeah.
And
But they haven't like,
the
They haven't
house
approved
is
it.
still there.
Yeah,
So I don't know what his plan is. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
they approve it, I mean, when they go and pull permits, then like we can't do anything until they pull the permit.
right.
So
Correct.
whether, and if they approve it, we could still say no and delay them till.
Correct. Right, you're
Yeah.
saying about the mill building. Yeah, that's right.
So I remember his earlier plans had so he was gonna take down one of those IBM buildings. And he had a factory out on the Westford side. And then all the other was sort of, this, but I think that this complex here was more that way. So this is definitely revised from what came across our desk like 3 years ago. Cause I remember, and I asked, I said like, what is this? And they were like, oh, it's a factory. And it was because Westford was offering some sort of a tax benefit, remember, on industrial,
I don't remember, but.
that he was gonna build on the Westford side, cause the land crosses into.
Oh,
No,
huh.
but now he has residential out there. Interesting.
I think, and this, I'm not sure about this. I think one of his tenants wants to keep at least one of the IBM buildings.
Well, he's got both of them.
I think he's got him leased.
Both of them are staying, right?
Yeah.
Both of them are staying?
The
Yeah.
facilities guy was there when we were walking the house and I asked him, and they said they had this third floor leased completely and half of the second or something like that.
Wow.
So I think their plan is to keep those buildings now.
When he went through before, it was COVID and everyone was liquidating all office space. So everyone was being told to work from home. And the real estate of office space had dropped through the floor, like it was so cheap so that's why he was gonna tear it down. But clearly he left both of them, they're right here. IBM 1 and 2. Okay.
Okay,
All right, if I could weigh in on the conversation, which as you know, I was kind of the ass last meeting.
word.
Kind of really sort of try to stick to it, but my other thought in general, which I expressed last meeting too, would be the town should not get involved. It's a private transaction. And if we or any of our boards get involved, it just makes it more complicated, right? It shouldn't be on town land. It should, like, if he pays.
You mean
to
if it
move
gets moved?
Yeah, like use case from a public entity municipal is so much more complicated. So that's why I'm still in favor of leaving it there. If he feels like he needs to move it, he should pay to move it somewhere else on his property. If he is concerned and doesn't want it, he should sell it privately, pay whoever buys it to move it to their property, and the town has nothing to do with it.
Well, hypothetically, would we want a preservation restriction on it? That's something to think about. I don't know. Then the town would be involved if we hold.
Well, that's a totally different
Mm.
scenario, but I think that, we know that it's really complicated. Right, so the only thing would be, so you're suggesting town takes ownership to apply.
I'm not saying town take ownership.
That's the
Um,
only way you would get a historical deed restriction, unless he voluntarily,
Right,
the
listen.
owners voluntarily, the
Correct.
new owner or the existing
Correct.
owner voluntarily decide.
I guess that's more
to
what
apply
I
it.
was thinking, but
Otherwise, it would have to pass through town.
right, that's obviously less in our control if the other owners would have to agree, so we don't
That's
have
right.
that much control over that. Anyway,
Mhm.
I think there's a certain amount of control that the town has because this is not, this is not something that he can do of right.
Yeah,
I mean, it requires special permits and all that sort of thing. And so
Right.
therefore, the town can impose various
correct,
requirements in order to give those permits. That's why.
no, he's right, so the town is involved.
oh yeah, but the town is doing its municipal responsibility through the building commissioners, through the ZBA. That's totally different than, here's $15,000, you deal with it, which is what I think okay, so maybe I misunderstood the initial proposal, but when you came last month, Linda, it was kind of like, hey, we're talking about potential town-owned spots and he's gonna pay to move it, and then like totally different scenario.
Sure,
ZBA stuff, building permits, like that's a formal planning process.
right,
It's
no, you're
totally
right,
different than
you're right,
ownership.
this is different, you're right.
Totally different.
But if the town or we don't get involved in this, then we have no say as to what happens to the house. I mean, maybe we don't want to have any say.
But we do because of chapter 65, right? So if
But then it's only 12-month period we have control over.
that's it, that's all we got. That's all we got.
Right, but if we work with other town boards, we
Yes.
might be able to keep it on site or whatever, some other,
Okay, I will put $5 on the fact that our jurisdiction is a 12-month demolition delay. That's our jurisdiction. I think that if it happens that it gets to, here's the offer, I'm gonna give you some money to move it, right? And we don't have a place to move it to. You are looking at buying a parcel of land that can hold a house of that size, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? That is very expensive. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the town would have to come up with hundreds of thousands of dollars for the land to put a property on that then, because we own it, would be public use, right? So then you get into the, well, let's sell it privately, but if you're selling it privately on town-owned and acquired land, there's all this sort of additional, so it's just a disaster.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
let's not, jump on this sword.
yep,
I agree with like everyone, let's save the building, and you know what I'm saying, but like, we don't wanna own it. The town doesn't wanna own it.
any other discussion on title, or is that enough for tonight? Shanti, any last thoughts?
Nope, I appreciate being able to listen in because I'm sure we'll be talking about it again at some point.
Yes, yes.
All right,
Thanks, Shanti,
I'll hop off now. Have a great night.
too.
Thank you for
Thank you.
participating and very
Thanks,
helpful.
and again, apologies for being late. See you all soon.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that it's a real problem. It's very hard to figure how you deal with that unless, I mean, if they're not willing to keep it on the property, then I don't know what.
Right, I mean, and I guess only hope that they would try to do a private sale of moving it to someone's
Well, let's
Like-
try, let's hope that they keep it on site. The planning board I think the planning board can require that they keep it on site. That
I
can
think
be
they
part of
could.
the
It would
permit.
be, I mean, it would be a real tragedy to lose two very historic properties to this development.
Right. Great.
I think it would look great, as a, nearby a hotel, if the hotel was made in the same style.
You have, of course, the example of the whatever it is, Westford Regency, whatever they call it, whatever it's a. Cause there's a historic house right in front of that, historic house and barn, right in front of that building. For what it's worth, I'm not.
Yeah.
Totally happy with the way it looks, I mean, you know. I don't know whether, do they use that at all? You know, or does it just sit there and
They're shutting down.
look pretty?
You knew that
Shut
the
down.
Regency is closed.
No, I did not.
No, they're turning it into apartments, I believe.
Oh, really?
It's been closed for a couple
Yeah.
of months.
Oh, I did not know that. But even when it was in use, was the,
I don't know.
did anybody know, was
They
the,
said
it
it
was
was
a hotel.
offices, but I'm not sure if it really was or not.
What is that, Carol?
They said it was offices, but I
Oh.
don't know if that actually is true anymore, or if it started out that way.
So, you know, it is interesting, just a, off the topic comment, but that proposal also has a lot more retail than I remember. And so, he potentially wants to take down the structure because it doesn't fit in, so we could potentially add more retail, but if you've looked around, you go to the second level of the, what they call it, the point, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
go down 110. Or, they're building this whole thing over on 119 there, right? I think we got retail, so.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't understand why the point that, that whole wing is not, and now the boxing gym's gone.
So it's all empty, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And even that other gym, Mel didn't even never put anything else in there. The pet store closed.
Well, supposedly he still has septic issues.
Oh, is that what? Like, is this?
Oh, really?
I think he can't get permits.
Gotta get that
I mean,
fixed.
I didn't know
That
that.
would make more sense that, like, it is very strange to be like, there is stuff growing in those buildings, interior wise.
Yeah, he can't get permits because of that, so.
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
So he can't at least.
Well, retail is in deep trouble,
Right.
the big thing, the big news today was that Saks Fifth Avenue is in bankruptcy.
Crazy.
Or the holding company that holds it is in bankruptcy, which may be part of the reason. Anyway,
Private equity doesn't help. Yeah.
Okay, so the last item on here is, oh, wait, public input, any public input?
I think he's just left.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
He was at the tour for the,
Was that Tony, the assistant town administrator?
Oh, is that who it
I
was?
was at the affordable housing, was it affordable housing that was also at the Tuttle House walkthrough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was at the walkthrough.
Oh, I see.
I don't know
Oh,
if he's with affordable
oh,
housing.
too bad. I could have asked them what they thought about.
Mm.
Anyway, too late now. So the last thing is outreach and the award certificate. Rachel and I haven't talked about it, but
I sent it to you, didn't I?
yes, you did.
Okay.
And I think I agreed with what you said, change there to his, I think.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping it general.
Right, but there is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is his okay?
Oh, I don't know, yeah, okay. I think I put in there, and it's like, the only thing I would think would be to change it to his.
Yeah, I think we changed it to his. Then the only other, citizens. We are honored and proud to have citizens, plural, add an S, like you among us. That's grammar. Anyone disagree? Oh, wait.
Have a citizen,
Yeah, you could say a citizen like you. That would be all right.
so I'll think him in with other good citizen.
So yeah, you weigh in on this to have, she's
yeah, of course.
citizens or a citizen, which would you like?
Both of them are.
Doesn't matter, I don't care
I
either
didn't
way.
find them.
Other than that, did you guys looked at their certificate, right? And you didn't have any other comments, right? Any other comments? Okay. So I'm fine with that, Rachel, if you're fine with it,
Okay, changing it to his and a citizen or citizens?
whichever you want. If you like a citizen better, I don't
I
care.
think it's referring back to just him, it should be a citizen.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Have a citizen. Yeah, that's
I'm not
fine.
an English major.
No, that's fine. I haven't done anything in terms of contacting boards. I've had my, as you know, my family issues I've been dealing with, but I will proceed with all of the things I'm supposed to do in the next, hopefully, month. So anything else?
And when do we see presenting this?
We don't know yet.
But at a board meet,
At the
Plan-
select
at
board
the select
meeting.
board
I haven't contacted them. I haven't contacted Joe yet. I will do that. What?
Gala, soiree.
Gala.
Well, you know, in Manchester, they do.
Oh, we've heard.
Yeah. It is, it's like a soiree.
Amazing.
Once again, they gotta pass the nerves.
Great.
An open bar, no, it's not.
I do
open
have a
bar.
question. Do you think you can have any CPC projects? Or,
So the West Lawn, I mean, the Fenn and Lear Cemetery, that would come through us,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Andrew probably would put it together.
Yeah, he probably would put it together, yeah.
But-
That's a good question. We haven't really thought about it. I think we might want some money for Shanti, but we have to think about what projects that would be,
Okay.
Can we just have like money to kind of keep her on retainer?
not for CPC. When do you need the application by February?
In March, I mean, the March meeting.
March would be okay.
Trying to get stuff together.
All right,
So I thought that retainer would be budget, project would be CPC.
correct. Right,
Yeah, so like her joining this meeting, we would pay her out of our budget.
correct. And she's owed some money. I'll have to let you guys know.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, for the site visits and the stuff that she's done recently. So I'll let you know what that is. Hopefully we haven't used up our budget. I don't think so. But we should think about projects that we might want her for, so we can put in for some CPC funds. I have to think
So-
about it.
I don't know, 3 months ago or so, we approved the plaques and you were ordering them, did they all come in?
We got the last one recently.
Right.
Yes.
And then is this gonna be a Chris and I weekend project, or are we gonna have the
I
whatchamacallit?
think the Department of Public Works,
They're
they put up the first one or two?
Put up the
One, first one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to do it, you could, but
Well, no,
would you
not if-
prefer
not
that
if-
they do it?
Not if the town wants to do it, I mean,
I think they should. Now, of course, they're gonna be busy. I haven't bothered over the winter because it's winter. But in the spring, they're gonna be busy. But I think I was gonna contact them and have them do it. If that makes the most sense.
yeah. How about this? I'll take it on. Hopefully, I voluntold Chris, right? He's a pretty easygoing guy.
Yeah.
So, we'll do it if they say no,
Oh, that's good.
because someone has to do it.
Right. We have
We'll get
quite a-
Rachel involved too, between dropping her
Rachel will carry
kid off
on.
at soccer and picking her other kid up at the basketball game and going to the Starbucks, we'll squeeze in a sign.
They are heavy. At least you didn't think they were so heavy. I think
No,
they're heavy.
it's not heavy. Look at Chris's muscles, he could carry that easily.
But
He's
if
a
you
young
wanted
guy,
a
too.
CPA project, you could put in an elevated marker for praying Indians, right? You wanted that to be a higher one?
Yes. Yes. We'd have, yes. We could work with that. What might be needed, what we would put in the proposal. Yeah, okay. Any other CPC projects that people can think of? We can talk about it next month too at the meeting.
When would an application need to be in for May, for March?
She said March.
Yeah, the third Wednesday of March, because the warrant closes like the next Monday,
Right.
so that's really
Okay.
the last.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
I'm
Meeting is adjourned.
All right. And our next meeting is already set for
The
February the
11th.
11th.